Terence "Bud" Crawford, the story of a boxing legend. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the incredible journey of Terence "Bud" Crawford, a man who rose from the streets of Omaha, Nebraska, to become one of the greatest boxers in history. Today, we'll take you on a powerful story that spans poverty, perseverance, talent, tragedy, and triumph. By the end, you'll understand why Crawford is not just a champion in the ring, but a symbol of resilience and excellence. Early life. Terence Allen Crawford was born on September 28, 1987, in Omaha, Nebraska, USA. He grew up in a tough environment, where crime and violence were common. From a young age, Terence was known for being a fighter. His parents often worried because he was constantly getting into street fights. At just 7 years old, Crawford began boxing. His natural aggression was channeled into the sport by his coaches. But his journey wasn't easy. Despite his talent, he often got into trouble outside the gym. At one point, he even got shot in the head while sitting in his car. But survived, miraculously. That near-death experience became a turning point in his life. Amateur career. Crawford had a remarkable amateur career, recording over 70 wins. He fought against some of the best young fighters in the U.S., and his sharp counterpunching and ability to switch stances, orthodox to southpaw, made him unique. Though he didn't make it to the Olympics, he built a reputation as one of the most promising fighters from Omaha. Professional debut. Crawford turned professional in March 2008, at just 20 years old. His debut was against Brian Cummings, and he won by first-round knockout. From that moment, boxing insiders knew this young man was destined for greatness. Rising through the ranks. Over the next few years, Crawford fought mostly in small venues, working his way up. His breakthrough came in 2013, when he faced Brady's Prescott, the same man who knocked out Amir Khan. Many thought Crawford would lose, but instead he dominated Prescott, showing the world his boxing IQ and versatility. First world title. In March 2014, Crawford traveled to Scotland to face Ricky Burns for the WBO lightweight title. Against the odds, in a foreign land, Crawford outclassed Burns and won his first world championship. That victory made him a national hero in Omaha. When he returned home, he was celebrated with a parade. Dominating different divisions. Crawford didn't stop at lightweight. He moved up to light welterweight and continued winning. In 2015, he won the WBO super lightweight title by defeating Thomas Delorme. His most historic achievement came in August 2017, when he fought Julius Ndongo. Crawford knocked him out in the third round, becoming the undisputed light welterweight champion, holding all 4 major belts. This made him the first man to do so in that division in the modern era. Welterweight era. After conquering 140 pounds, Crawford moved up to welterweight, 147 pounds. In June 2018, he defeated Jeff Horn, who had shocked the world by beating Manny Pacquiao. With that win, Crawford claimed the WBO welterweight title. He successfully defended it against top fighters like Jose Benavidez Jr., Amir Khan, Egidijus Cavaliauskas, and Kell Brook. The mega fight, Crawford vs. Errol Spence Jr. For years, fans begged for a fight between Crawford and Errol Spence Jr., another undefeated American welterweight champion. Finally, in July 2023, the fight happened. Crawford shocked the world by dominating Spence from the opening bell. He knocked Spence down 3 times before the referee stopped the fight in the 9th round. With that victory, Crawford became the undisputed welterweight champion, cementing his legacy. The move to super middleweight. History in the making. Many thought Crawford had already done enough to retire as one of the all-time greats. But he wasn't finished. In September 2025, he stepped up to face Canelo Alvarez, the Mexican superstar and one of the biggest names in boxing. The fight took place in Las Vegas, with millions watching worldwide. In a masterclass performance, Crawford outboxed Canelo and won by unanimous decision. With this victory, he became the undisputed champion in 3 weight divisions: lightweight, welterweight, and super middleweight. No male boxer in the four-belt era had ever achieved this before. Personal life and legacy. Outside the ring, Crawford is a devoted father of 5. He is also deeply connected to his Omaha roots, giving back to the community through charity events and youth boxing programs. Known for his humility, he often spends time with fans and inspires young athletes with his story of perseverance. From the streets of Omaha to the pinnacle of world boxing, Terence "Bud" Crawford's story is nothing short of legendary. He overcame violence, poverty, and near-death experiences to write his name in history. Today, he stands not just as a 3-division undisputed champion, but as a living example that no matter where you come from, you can rise to greatness with discipline, resilience, and unshakable self-belief. Subscribe to Cassette TV for international news. Relive Crawford's historic win over Canelo in Vegas. History-maker Terence Crawford stunned Saul Canelo Alvarez on points in Las Vegas, becoming the first male fighter in the modern era to hold undisputed titles in 3 weight divisions. In front of 70,000 fiercely pro-Alvarez fans at Allegiant Stadium, Crawford, jumping up 2 weight divisions, delivered a masterclass, underlining his status as boxing's pound-for-pound star. The unbeaten 37-year-old from Ohio showcased his full arsenal of skill, defense, power, and timing, leaving Alvarez, 35, clinging on at the final bell and silencing the partisan crowd. Despite the judges scoring it tighter than expected 116-112, 115-113, 115-113, the verdict capped off a defining performance on the grandest stage that will be remembered long in the sport's history. "I'm not here by coincidence," said Crawford, draped in the WBA, Super, WBC, WBO, and IBF super middleweight titles. Despite the victory, the Omaha fighter did not rule out retiring after his 42nd straight professional win. "I don't know, I've got to sit down with my team and we'll talk about it," he added. Fighting on Mexican Independence Day weekend, Alvarez, who loses for the 3rd time in his 68th bout, had his status, pride, and the hopes of a nation on the line, but came up against a generational great. "I feel great to share the ring with great fighters like him. If we do it again then it'll be great," he said. "My legacy is already there and I like taking risks because I love boxing." Crawford masterclass lights up Vegas. In a provocative move, Crawford made his ring walk to a mariachi band. Unaware, Mexican fans sang along until a grinning Bud appeared on the big screen. Alvarez followed with his own mariachi entrance, brass and strings echoing as he soaked in the rapturous adoration. After a cautious opening round, Crawford began to assert himself, using his reach and movement while counter-punching with precision. Some wondered whether he could absorb Alvarez's power, but when Alvarez landed single shots to the body in the 4th, Crawford fired back with 2 uppercuts and a right hook combination. He showed no signs of intimidation. Alvarez landed a heavy right in the closing seconds of the round, but Crawford merely smiled dismissively. Gliding across the ring, he landed a beautiful combination in the 6th. This was the 21st time Alvarez had fought in Las Vegas, a city where he has built a fortress over 2 decades, but it was clear he had his work cut out by the halfway stage. Ringside was a who's who of boxing and entertainment, from legends Mike Tyson, Evander Holyfield, and Thomas Hearns to singer Lizzo and actor Mark Wahlberg. They witnessed a 9th-round spectacle as the fighters met in the center, trading blows, with a brief pause after an Alvarez headbutt. Alvarez's corner urged him on in desperation. "We have 3 rounds to blow him up," his long-term trainer Eddie Reynoso said. As the championship rounds wore on, Crawford increasingly looked capable of finishing it inside the distance. Jabs and combinations flew, Alvarez chasing while Crawford picked him apart. His legs showed signs of fatigue in a 15-round fight. It felt like Crawford would have finished it. The judges' scorecards were too close for comfort, but throughout fight week Crawford had promised to find a way past Alvarez, and he did, in style. Don't forget to subscribe to Cassette TV International for news and update.